Alright, so this is Mark and Tennille, and we are taking the official route that we're going to do for the March for Truth on June 3rd, Saturday. We'll start at 11 a.m. We are right now over by the beach at Brazilian Avenue. This is the public beach, as you can see to the left. It's a nice day, probably will be next weekend as well. And this should be a 1.7 mile trip in a straight line with not a lot of parking unless you're early enough to get it. It should be quite a bit confusing, but I think we'll be able to pull it off. Wide open trails, sidewalks both ways. We should be able to do a very good single file one-way path here. What have you got to say, Tennille?
I'm just filming.
So it doesn't look like there's a major police presence here. Everything looks normal. Most of Palm Beach, except for the beach, seems to be kind of shut down for end of season. I expect this is going to be very hot. We're going to need a lot of water and a ton of iced coffee to pull this off. Right now we're in front of Charlie's Crabs. That's about 1/8 of a mile from where we started. And here comes a very scenic route. So we have very minimal paths on both sides of the road. They open and close to bicycle path lanes, which are between 3 feet wide, and easements, some of which are as wide as 8 feet. But typically we're looking at sea grapes here and a berm with a public easement that is not meant for travel, but that is completely constitutional. We can do this on bicycles, we can do this on foot, and we can do this on roller blades or inline skates, and it should actually be quite fun. Should take us a solid 2.5 hours from start to finish. Starting at 11, that puts us at 1:30. Anything else? And here we have a police officer standing up on his motorcycle. Now we've seen it all.
That's awesome.
Here we're going to pass around the first burn right after Banyan Road. You guys can follow this on Google Maps later, or use Siri if you want. This is where the estates start to break off into private residences along the ocean side. The roads are much wider here, as you can see, and very comfortable to travel. You'll see cyclists at all hours of the day and night going through here like this, and hopefully we're just looking for some good weather for this. Say something.
Bring umbrellas.
Yeah, bring big umbrellas.
Right on them.
Lots of umbrellas. So we're a little more than halfway through this trip at this point. Now we're passing South County Road and Clarendon Avenue. You see how blue the water is? Coming up on Mar-a-Lago now in about less than half of a mile. And we've driven this off a few times. All the road closures are completely done with. The sinkhole is completely repaired, and all points of the road are wide open now and clear. Straight through the roundabout, which is directly in front of us. On the right hand side, we're just getting ready to hit it. Passing Woodbridge Road right now. And here we are, the gates of hell at Mar-a-Lago. And as you can see, we have cyclists back here. We're hitting the final roundabout. Everything is wide open and repaired. No obstructions whatsoever. And here we go. Now we're back on the Bingham Bridge and taking the route out of Palm Beach.